They said Eloise Bridgerton would never be the center of a season. They said Whistledown's secrets had already been told. They said the ton couldn't be shocked again. And yet, here we are, on the edge of our seats, hearts racing, because Season 5 is poised to do what no previous season has dared. A new love, a dangerous whisper, and a gamble so bold it could upend everything we thought we knew about this world. Eloise is no longer just the curious, defiant sister. She's the eye of the storm. And Whistledown is about to prove that power isn't just in ink, it's in intent. So what exactly are the stakes, and how far is this show willing to push the ton before someone, or something, breaks? Right out of the gate, Season 5 is asking the ton and the audience a question they've never been asked before. How much are you willing to risk for love, for power, for truth? Because if you thought Bridgerton was just about lavish balls and whispered scandals, think again. Part 2 of Season 4 left us reeling, not with its finales, but with the threads it intentionally left dangling. Eloise, once the relentless critic of societal expectation, stood in the background for 4 seasons, quietly observing, questioning, challenging. And now, she's not just stepping forward, she's being thrust into the center of a story that will test every principle she's ever held. Her wit, her intellect, her fierce independence, these aren't just traits anymore, they're weapons. This isn't a gentle progression. This isn't the slow burn romance we've seen with Anthony and Kate or Benedict and Sophie. Season 5 is a calculated escalation. Every glance, every line, every subtle reaction we caught in Part 2 was a signal. When Eloise lingered a moment too long on a conversation about weddings, when she smirked at a social faux pas, when she scribbled in her journal with an intensity that suggested more than idle observation, these weren't throwaways. They were deliberate seeds, planted by writers who know exactly where they want this story to go. And if you're paying attention, you'll see it. Eloise's season is about internal upheaval. It's not about external obstacles thrown in her path by class or fortune. It's about her own resistance, her inner battles, and the slow, almost imperceptible pull towards something she's spent her life questioning. Then there's Whistledown. Penelope's voice, once the beating heart of society's gossip, has stepped aside, but not quietly. The new writer, the mysterious figure revealed at the end of Season 4, brings a tension unlike anything the ton has faced. This is not just another column. This is a force capable of reshaping alliances, exposing secrets, and weaponizing truth in ways the ton isn't prepared for. And if Eloise is to navigate her own awakening, she will have to contend with this new Whistledown, a shadow in the margins who sees everything, hears everything, and doesn't play by the same rules. The stakes are higher, the margins narrower, and the consequences more devastating than ever before. But Season 5 isn't just about individual stories. It's about the ripple effect across the entire family and society. With Benedict and Sophie settled, Colin and Penelope now public figures, and Anthony and Kate positioned as the household's moral center, the dynamics of the Bridgerton family are shifting. Violet, once the guiding anchor, is stepping back, and in that void, Eloise is uniquely positioned. But will she rise to the occasion, or will her resistance turn into rebellion? Her choices won't just affect her, they will challenge the entire ton and redefine the power structures of London society. The brilliance of this season lies in its patience. Unlike previous seasons, where the romance and the drama were front and center, Season 5 has meticulously laid the groundwork for multiple intersecting storylines. There's Eloise, navigating her own desires versus the weight of expectation. There's Whistledown, a new player with unclear motives but undeniable power. And there's the ton itself, teetering between maintaining appearances and confronting truths it has long buried. Each thread is carefully placed to intersect in moments of tension, revelation, and shock. And if the writers handle it with the same precision they've shown before, Season 5 won't just be another Bridgerton, it will be a masterclass in narrative complexity and suspense. So here's the question that keeps you up at night. What happens when the most rebellious Bridgerton sibling finally steps into the spotlight, when the pen becomes a weapon, and when every choice she makes could ignite a scandal the Ton has never survived before? Eloise Bridgerton has always been different. While her siblings were swept up in society's grand gestures, she lingered in the corners, observing, questioning, resisting. She wasn't interested in the trappings of marriage or the performance of courtship. She was interested in understanding the world and seeing through the polished facades and uncovering the truth beneath. But season 5 is forcing her into uncharted territory. Suddenly, the stories she's read, the society she's dissected from a safe distance, are demanding her participation. And participation, in this case, is not optional. It's a test, a gauntlet that will push her intellect, her heart, and her morality to their absolute limits. Let's talk about love, because no Bridgerton season is complete without it. But this time, it's going to be complicated. Theo Sharp's return, or even just the possibility of it, changes the equation entirely. He's not the sort of suitor who merely flirts or pursues. He challenges, provokes, respects intellect. Their connection in season 2 was subtle, understated, yet charged with a kind of tension that lingered long after he left the story. Now, with Eloise older, wiser, and more guarded than ever, that spark has the potential to ignite something that is as dangerous as it is irresistible. But danger in the Ton comes in many forms. What happens when affection intersects with ambition? Curiosity collides with societal expectation, and every choice is under the microscope of a town that thrives on scandal. Eloise is about to find out. And Whistledown isn't just a background element anymore. The new writer revealed at the end of season 4 isn't here to play by Penelope's rules. This isn't a column for fun, it's a weapon, a mirror, and a magnifying glass all at once. Everyone is vulnerable. Every private thought, every whispered conversation, every fleeting glance can be exposed, twisted, and weaponized in a single paragraph. And Eloise, who has spent her life observing others, is now part of the story. The hunter is becoming the hunted. It's one thing to analyze society from a safe distance. It's another entirely to have society scrutinize your every action, your every word, your every choice. And if Eloise underestimates this new Whistledown, the consequences won't just be emotional, they could be catastrophic. But the stakes aren't limited to Eloise and her potential romance. Francesca's storyline, quietly planted in the background of season 4, part 2, looms like a ticking clock. Her grief, her tentative interactions with Michaela, her emotional complexity, they all set the stage for a confrontation and revelation that could rival any central romance in its intensity. And that's the real gamble. How does season 5 balance multiple storylines without letting one overshadow the other? This isn't just about giving each character their moment. It's about intertwining them in a way that maintains tension, builds suspense, and keeps the audience guessing at every turn. Can the writers thread these arcs together without unraveling the carefully constructed emotional web they've spent 4 seasons building? Then there's the family dynamic. Anthony and Kate are now the central pillars, essentially the guardians of the household's social order. Benedict and Sophie have carved out their own space, stable and serene, but perhaps too serene to reflect the undercurrents of scandal creeping through the Ton. Colin and Penelope are public figures now, their personal lives on display for all of London to analyze, dissect, and gossip about. Violet, once the emotional anchor, is reclaiming her independence, stepping back to focus on her own identity. And Eloise? She's the wild card, the intellectual force with a moral compass so rigid that bending it will take monumental pressure or temptation. Season 5 isn't just about love or scandal, it's about who in this family is willing to evolve, who will resist, and who will be forced into action they never expected. And here's the kicker. Bridgerton has always been smart about pacing. The writers know how to manipulate tension, how to build anticipation. The new Whistledown isn't just a plot device, it's a strategic tool designed to keep both the characters and the audience on edge. Every rumor, every column, every revelation will ripple outward, impacting alliances, romances, and reputations. Eloise will have to navigate this minefield, balancing her own desires against the shifting loyalties and hidden motives of those around her. And as the Ton scrambles to decipher truth from manipulation, the audience will be holding their breath alongside them. So the question lingers, gnawing at every conversation and every speculation. Can Eloise